1019 KISS FM's Newbie Online.
Exclusive.
Hello everybody, it's Misty with Newbie Online, and in the studio I have with me Miss Kady Roxz. What's going on, lady?
Not much. I'm just excited to be in the studio with you today.
I'm excited to have you here. I was telling her, look, if you see Kady in person, she is gorgeous. Now, if you've seen her pictures, she looks like she's freaking 16, but I love it. I love it. And let's get into it. Born and raised Memphis?
I am.
Awesome. What high school did you go to?
I went to Overton High School, which is the High School of Performing Arts.
Don't tell me that.
No?
Don't tell me that.
Did you go?
I did.
Oh my God.
That's so crazy. What year?
10.
I was 11.
So
That
we
is
were there at the
crazy.
same. Were you in the broadcasting program?
No, I was actually in choir.
Oh, I feel like I would have seen you then because I was always around choir because I was in drama. So like I was in all the productions. Were you ever in the musicals?
No.
No?
No. I did like a lot of the jazz, especially my last year.
Yeah.
I did like jazz concerts with Mr. Huddleston.
Huddleston,
Yeah. And a lot of like show choir stuff, but never like the musicals and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
That's crazy.
That's so weird. The world is so small. Memphis is so small.
It is.
But that makes sense because most people in the arts did go to that school.
Right.
You know? Like even like K. Michelle. So like most
Right.
people from Memphis who were in it. That makes
Went
sense.
through- right.
That makes sense.
So how old were you when you realized that, you know, music was, you know, it's what you wanted to do?
I would say around 16, 17 because I started playing guitar in middle school and then kind of decided I wanted to do theater and stage because I just was kind of energetic and all over the place and like want to do and be in front of people, but I still always stuck with the songwriting thing. And then I want to say it was 11th grade I took Mr. Huddleston's guitar class and then in his class he used to let me do my own original pieces.
Wow.
And he was kind of one of the first people that got me to perform live. In fact, he got me into the audition for the Mid-South Fair Talent Show. Well, for the Overton audition, we would audition at the school to be picked, so we had our own. And I got in, and it was the first time I ever performed in front of a huge crowd. So that was kind of the beginning. I'm like, oh, I like this.
That's
I like
crazy.
performing for people. And then when I went off to college at MTSU, just really started performing with every opportunity that I got. So
Wow. So you started in high school pretty much, huh?
I did.
That's crazy. So before that, like, did you have anyone in your family that was in music or?
Well, my parents always really liked music. Like both of them are ministers. I'm a PK.
Oh, look at that.
Double over. And my parents were always playing records. Like my mom used to play a lot of Motown records. My dad used to play like Bob Marley and the Eagles. So like I was always around it.
Yeah.
And always growing up in the church, I was in the choir and like just again all over the place, hanging out like with the band. So like just, and then my godfather was a blues musician on Bill Street. So like being around him, so I feel like it was always kind of like around me as like a natural form of expression. That it was just kind of like, yeah, I want to do this thing. It's really cool. I want to do it too.
That's dope. Do you get nervous still, like today, performing and stuff like that?
Not once I get into it. Like there's always that little moment before you get on stage. But I find if you can just like make it not about yourself, like if you're doing it like it's supposed to be done as like a job or role, like you're on stage to like interact with people. So if I'm thinking about the connection, then I'm not thinking about myself enough to be nervous. So it's like we're here together, and that's kind of how I feel on stage. Like it's an experience. Like I can't be self-conscious if I'm not worried about like, oh, am I singing on the right note? Am I doing this? So like I just try to take myself out of it and go, I'm here, we experiencing this together, this is what it's a conversation. So like I'm singing about this, you with me right now. So it's like once I get into that part of it and don't even give my chance to be nervous, then I don't know.
Spoken like a true artist. That's what it's about though, you know. It is, and I love it. Okay, so let's talk about your journey from Overton to Berkeley.
Yes.
So how did that come about? Honestly, being at Overton, Berkeley, especially as a choir student or anybody that's in like dance or anything, like that was the place to go.
Yeah.
But it was so difficult to get in.
Agreed. Because I didn't get in the first time I auditioned.
Really?
So, and like a lot of people, which is really funny because a lot of people don't know that. They're like, oh, you went to Berkeley. I was like, yeah, but like the first time I went for, I did not get in.
Yeah.
But when I finished at MTSU, and I was still kind of interning on Music Row in Nashville and kind of just knew, it's like, I think I want to do something a little more. I wasn't quite like where I wanted to be or like fulfilled. So I'm like, what's out here? And I kind of like stumbled upon like the grad program at Berkeley, and I said, okay, I'll give it a shot. I'll see what happens. I mean, don't really have anything to lose except $150 for the application. Small cost,
right?
So, okay, let's go. So I applied and set up everything for like the online interview and everything that came with that, and it kind of just, it came out of nowhere because I totally forgot that I had applied when I got like the email, and I was in
Really?
Yes, and I was out in California at the time. I was at LA, sorry, getting ready to actually go to the Grammys Museum for the first time.
Wow.
And I got the email and I stopped. I was like, oh my god. And I was like, hold on. I'm gonna go in this room over here by myself because I don't know what's gonna happen. I opened it and I got it, and the first word was congratulations, and I just broke down. And I just broke down, and it was just kind of like this amazing like prophetic day that it came on the day I was going to the Grammys Museum, and like they had the Otis Redding installation up that day, and that's my guy. Like that's probably like one of my favorite musical icons.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yes, like yes, God, yes. And I was ready. When I got back from LA back to Memphis, I was like, let's work, let's get everything together, like let's go. And so it's like this incredible like journey that was just kind of like a blessing.
Yeah.
Because then when I got in, the program was starting in 3 months, and then the program I was in Valencia, Spain, so I had to get like a passport and a visa like within like 2 months.
Wow.
And it was insane, and like the fact I was able to put it together is just still amazing to me today, and like it still seems like a super surreal thing that happened, like oh yeah, that happened. I actually went to Berkeley in Spain, like so it was incredible. But yeah, it was just really me wanting to do more and just kind of like putting it out in the universe, and like I don't know what's next, but I want to do something more. And I was like super open, whether that would have been Berkeley or just going to like some kind of conservatory somewhere. I was just like, there's more that I can do, and I want to do it. So
definitely, that's amazing. Well, I know it opened up a lot of opportunities for you, but through Berkeley did that European tour start?
Yes, that's exactly how it came about.
Really?
Yes, because we were in kind of a small town, it wasn't too big, called Valencia, and we were primarily one of the biggest music schools there, and the only American music school. So a lot of promoters and talent agents used to book from Berkeley, and so we had it set up to where they could just post on the Berkeley gig wall that we just log into, and there was only about maybe 200 students, and that's including the study abroad kids that are there. So it's like there's not a lot of competition once you realize that everybody does something different within that 200. Like some people are commercial vocalists, some people are jazz, some people are traditional Irish folk vocalists, some people are guitarists, and then like so it's like there's only so many instruments, and then within that so many genres. So it's like there wasn't a lot of like, oh, I gotta beat you out to do this. There was like a lot of like collaboration, and so like when things like that come up, it was super easy. And like a lot of times they like, just send me your EPK and I'll see you on Thursday. So it's like fairly easy to get a gig. And like the great thing about Europe is that everybody pays for music there.
Really?
Like nobody would dream of saying come in and you might get tips. No. They were like, this is the fee, this is what you get, you know. Like they are very like legit and serious about paying for music. So it was staying on top of that gig board and just kind of looking at all the opportunities that I just kind of coordinated, like where I wanted to go to perform, and then just being proactive to fill in like the blanks in between, just going, hey, my name is Kady, I'm performing at Hard Rock Barcelona, and you're really close to here, and we're going to be in the city, and we can come through for a night if you need somebody to fill a night. And so just really like popping the dates in there, and then even got a couple of festivals at the end, which was like incredible.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool. But yeah, it was really like Berkeley and their connections with like the European like music industry there. So it was crazy.
That's crazy. But speaking of like instruments and stuff like that, I know that you said that you play the guitar.
Yes.
You said how old were you when you started playing? 16?
Yeah. Well, when I started taking lessons, I was 16. Started a little early, but that is really the beginning of me really sitting down and practicing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. How was it working with like David Porter and
Yes.
icons like that?
David is incredible. I love him. Okay, I love David. Oh my god, like he is just like a breath of fresh air.
Definitely.
Like you'll sit down with him and you'll be discussing.
You're so silly.
Because it's just so funny. And that's why it works though. Because David used to think that I was kind of full of it. Because he would like really be ripping my music apart. And I'm like, yeah, David, you're right. You know? And he was like, because he used to think that I was just like, and I'm like, no, I'm just really open to criticism. Because I mean, you got a songwriting Hall of Fame spot, so obviously you know something.
Right.
And I need to sit down and take notes.
Exactly.
So like I had never had an issue. Like even if David liked something, I'm like, well, why? Like you need to tell me specifically why that works. And so like me and David have a super cool relationship because he's just so blunt and open. And I'm just like, yep, tell me everything that is wrong. Where do we need to start again? Let's go. But yeah, he's great because I think sometimes people are either too nice to the point where you can't grow or just so mean that they don't encourage growth. And he's kind of like right there in the middle where like you can tell he cares about the next generation of Memphis music.
Yes,
and
definitely.
That's his big thing. Like he wants there to be another Stax. He wants there to be another wave of Memphis music. So he's all about let's sit down, let's figure out what I can do to help you, and let's go. So I love David. Just every experience with him has just been so great.
That's crazy, Michelle, because when I went to Memphis, and he was heavily involved there. He spoke to us a lot, you know, and you can tell that he was, you know, he was trying, you know, and I appreciate that as well. Colored,
yes.
Let's talk about that. So how did that come about?
Colored. So I had been writing for a long time, maybe for a few years, just about different coming of age things. Just questions in my mind that I had about like identity, being a woman, being a black woman, just being someone that's figuring out how to be in relationships, just kind of like figuring out who I am. And so while I was in Spain, which was like a really incredible time for personal growth, because essentially I was alone, right? Lived by myself, was living in this foreign country where the language was not my language, and so there was like an element of isolation to it. And so all of a sudden I was by myself with my feelings. And what happens when you're kind of in that space and you get that quiet is that you have time to start dissecting things, and then all of a sudden I could really analyze different elements of my personality. Like, who am I? Like, when have I been wrong in situations? Like, what could I have done better in the past? And like, why did these things happen? And why am I attracted to toxic relationships? And so all of a sudden, it's like pulling all of these things out. And then when I was looking at the writing, and the thing that came to me was like, these are the things that have colored your life. And so that's kind of where it came from. So all these songs were all about these different aspects of like becoming a woman, essentially. It's like, how do I get to the next stage? How do I stop doing the old stuff that I used to do? How do I give myself more accountability? So like the name just kind of flowed from there. And then also everybody spelled anything like colored, like with the U, and it just got on my last. Everything. I just hated it. Like, I am American. This is not how we write our words. Like, I can't even think of them all, but there's so many of those like words where you're like, there's no U in this. Right. That's not how. And then like, you'll be taking notes from a slide, and then you get the little squiggly line under your thing. I'm like, I'm just writing it as it's up there. I'm like, can you please stop doing this?
Oh my gosh.
No. So anyways, so that's why I spelled it with the U. Colored.
That's so funny, because I was sitting here, I was like, why is there a U? And am I wrong?
No, you're just American. Yep, that's exactly. Yep, exactly.
Oh, that's funny.
That's the feeling.
Oh gosh.
But that's where the concept came from, was just kind of like the different elements that like color your transition from childhood to womanhood. Like
Definitely.
how these things, they make you. Like we are the collection of our experiences. So that's what that title meant.
That's awesome. I love it. And I don't know if you intentionally did this. So as I was on your website, I was glancing through your pictures and I was just clicking one by one, and there's like in a sense, a journey, because in like literally your first picture you have like the little like,
The face.
frown, right? And then the next one, it kind of, it softens up. Then the next one softens up more. And then the next one, you're on the couch with your guitar. And like you're smiling, and then you're playing your guitar. And then it's like this whole like transformation.
Yeah.
Was that intentional? Or am I just looking deep into it?
Art is open into interpretation. It means whatever you think it means, Misty. What?
So let's roll with it. But I love it. I was like, that's clever.
Thank you. I mean, that shoot was super awesome. I really have to give a shout out for that shoot, because I came up with the concept for it and I was kind of like, I'm broke, so I don't know if this is going to happen. And I went to my little closet and I was like, okay, God, I want to do this thing. So I like submitted him my proposal for this. I'm like, okay, God, here's the project. Here's what I want to do. If you could just like help, like, I don't know how this can happen. I don't know if I can get like a quick lotto ticket or something, but I was like, I need help. And then something in me was like, well, ask for it, okay? You just never know what happens. And so I launched a free fund, which is the same thing as GoFundMe, but it doesn't have like the same fees as GoFundMe.
Really?
So for all of you out there who are looking for platforms to raise money that won't really take money from you, free fund is great. So I launched a free fund, put it up, and then the first day I only got $20. I was like, okay, that's pretty good. All right, cool. And kind of sent out like different asks. And in the middle of it, I was also doing a 15-day challenge where I posted a new song every day. And so I think that was a major key, that people were visibly seeing me. And then on that Friday, when everybody got paid,
There you go.
by the end of that Friday, it was fully funded. We had all the money for the photo shoot. And it was just kind of amazing. And then the photographer I worked with, which is Elijah Rodney, who's super cool and works with a lot of like dope artists in Nashville. I had reached out to him with the project and he said, this is cool. And I said, I do not have money right now, but I am raising money. And I know that sounds sketchy, but just be patient with me. There's a good chance that we can make this happen.
Definitely.
And the day that money came through, I was like, Elijah,
I got you.
we shooting.
I got you.
Like, we shooting. We doing it. And so it was so cool because like he just got it. So I would say, this is what I'm going for. Here's like an example photo. Here's the feeling of the scene. Here's the song I wanted to correspond with. And he would just shoot. Like he took like, I think one of the ones that I liked the most was the one where I'm kind of like sitting facing forward in the blue, and there's like a halo of light around me. That was a test shot.
Really?
Yeah, he was like, I'm just gonna set up the scene and see what it looks like. And he took the shot and said, here's what it looks like. Do you want me to change anything? I was like, that's the photo. Like, we done. I was like, we can move to the next set. That's the photo. He was like, I'm going to take a few more just in case. I'm like, that is the photo, Elijah. Like, we did it. We done. So, like, he's just amazing. Like, has an amazing eye and just, like, can jump onto, like, visions very easily. So
Yeah.
Loved Elijah.
And he's in Nashville.
He's in Nashville.
Elijah, what's his last name?
Rodney.
Okay, so let's talk about some short-term goals.
Yeah. Short term.
Got it?
Goals. Right now, I really want to focus on making sure that I really build a brand. Because I think the last 5 years of my life has really just been development. Like being a better musician, being a better singer, taking every opportunity that I get to build a resume. And now I'm feeling like, let's just chill for a second. Let's take our time on something.
Definitely.
No more of that. Let's just take it because it's here. No, let's craft a sound. Let's craft like something that makes sense so that when people see the art, kind of like you see the photos, you're like, ooh, there might be some layers here. And like really taking my time. So like really focusing on the colored EP, which I pushed it back because I really just want it to like be what it needs to be. And I'm still kind of like finding a producer for that sound, and I think that's kind of like the hardest thing.
How long are we gonna have to wait?
I don't want to give a number
So
because
I need it.
that's too much. No,
Okay.
I can't give you
No
a number.
stress. Okay.
The thing is, I might even like have like another single, but at this point, like I kind of don't know. I don't want to give another single. I just want to give it to everybody at the
Gotcha.
same time, because it's gonna be made to just be played through from beginning to
Mhm.
end, so that you can just hear what's happening.
Gotcha.
You know? So just really taking my time. I mean, if it makes you feel better, everything's written from like the production that needs to happen. It just needs to be like orchestrated. And who knows? And then there has to be like a full marketing rollout with that.
I
So like,
I'll wait.
but
Just
that's
make sure I get it.
absolutely.
Thank
You can even do some like live and studio performances if you want to.
Yes.
I would love that. We
That
can
would be
premiere it
awesome.
here because my hometown. I would love it for it to premiere here. My
That'll be,
hometown.
and we have a performance.
Girl.
Let's make it happen.
Hey, I love
That's
it.
dope.
Yes, you'll definitely be in touch about
Please.
this. Yeah, I would love it to premiere here. But yeah, but that's the goal, is to like get that project off the ground. Like I'm thinking of still potentially like releasing mixtapes because that was one of the things that I was doing in school, releasing them here and there, and then just kind of like deleting them after a period. They were like really just temporary, like here they are, and then just take them off.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of maybe doing another one of those for like the fans who like all donated and who are like ready for this to happen. And then for me, because like I think you get really frustrated as an artist when like your art just taking forever.
Yeah.
Cause I'm like, I've been saying this stuff, writing this stuff for like 2 years now. And, like I'm ready for it to be there, but I'm willing to wait for quality. So yeah, so like there might be some mixtapes in between there just to get my feel and just to like show people that I'm still alive. But I'm kind of like over it. I'm ready to turn off my internet, like
Yeah.
especially after like the newbie contest, because
Uh-huh.
like I was just on there every day, like
Yeah.
messaging people like, hey, I'm Kady Roxz, I'm a musician,
Yeah.
here's my song, can you vote for me on the radio please, thank you. All day.
You gotta put yourself out there.
Yeah.
You know, again, and you have to add. you
Yes,
know?
and I think people like are afraid to do that. Like they're afraid of how they will come off. But like people like thanked me, which was like crazy. They're like, "Thank you for introducing you to my music." I'm like, "You're welcome." I think.
There you go.
You know, so like that really introduced me to like a lot of new fans. So it was super cool. Even from like people listening on the airwaves, like people were like messaging me, and I'm like, "Oh my god."
That's awesome.
And then like Overton, like a lot of my Overton peeps were super supportive.
Yeah.
Like, they were posting it every day, like vote for Kady Roxz.
Yeah.
Like it was like I loved it.
And how did you build your fan base?
Essentially at MTSU, I started performing everywhere and then just kind of like passing out my tag in places. And then like at some point in 15, I got really serious about social media, like on Instagram, like making sure that I liked pages of everybody who followed me, like trying to like talk to everyone. Like I would be at work in the store, like every 5 minutes checking my phone, like, oh, someone followed me, like following up with thank you, and here I am, just really making sure that like everybody who interacted with me, like it was personable.
Yeah.
Like never wanted to be this person like, oh, I follow 0 people and you all follow me and I never respond. No.
Right.
No.
Right.
That's not what music is or should be. It should be, this is a conversation. I'm giving you something. We are interacting with this together, just like, and just always keeping that atmosphere. So I think that's really where it came from, which is me just like being super open.
Yeah.
Like meeting people like, hey, how are you? Like I was at the Y the other day, and this guy was like, you're cool, and then like found my Instagram and followed it, and then like, oh, you do music, and it goes from there. So like, if you're a cool person and people like you, they'll like gravitate towards what you do.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're good at what you do also, so that's a major key. So like, not to say that I'm great, but like if you release things of substance and people like you, they're like, okay, I can get with this. Because I think if it was like really like low end iPhone demos and I'm like, I'm an artist, they're like, no, you're not. And not to say that's not a good place to start, but it's like if I'm gonna like really put myself out there, again, why Colored is being pushed, like it has to have a level of quality.
Exactly.
You
And I'm
know?
glad that you mentioned that. I was managing an artist like a few years ago, and I stressed to him, look, it has to be a quality. It has to be, because if it's some rinky dink, video, nobody's gonna want to see it.
Yeah.
They're not gonna want to click on it. So you have to have quality
You
and consistency.
take your time and make it happen. You
Yep.
know? Like, and I think in an age of instant gratification. That's so hard, and like everything's going viral, so we just want to get it up so quick,
Right.
and I'm like, and I try to fight against that mentality. And so someone asked me the other day, what are you listening to? And I said, I can't, because like my project just got delayed, and I would be tempted to rush my thing if I was like, oh my god, that album was great and everybody responded to that. I got something, and I'm like, nope. I haven't really been on Twitter or Facebook of any of that. It's like, I just need to chill.
That's good.
And be in my bubble and keep my blinders on, so that I'm not looking at what everybody else is doing. I'm like, I'm here. And when I get there, I get there. Like, I can't be like looking at what everybody's doing right now.
Yeah.
So like, it's hard. And like, so a lot of new artists just want to like hit. And that's not to say you can't start somewhere, because people, if you don't have performances yet, your demos are how you get there,
Right.
you know. So it's like, I definitely did like little like closet demos in the day, like that's what all of those mixtapes were. But also they had like an expiration date, because I didn't want those things to continue to reflect me as I grew. So I think there's a way to use them, but I don't think they should be like your staple at any point, because like at some point I'm like, nope, this has been up for like 3 months, people think it's cool, they got an ideal about what I do, yank it. You know, so that's kind of how like I fixed that. But yeah, it's hard, and I sympathize with that, because like it's really, really hard. If I wasn't able to like raise that money, Color would not have got off the ground like it did. So like, it's difficult.
And that's good that you're super personable with your, you know, your fan base and things like that. I think that's really important. Let's talk about, do you often go on like a social media hiatus from time to time, or often?
That's been happening more recently than not. You see how like light my voice got after I drank water? Look at that. Sorry. I always say like water and coconut oil, they fix everything.
Right?
Sorry.
It's okay.
It's like a stark
Life
difference.
essentials,
It's like,
right?
it's still me. It's still the same person. So that's been happening more recently. The more busy that I get, like especially being in graduate school, I was like, I need to step away from this. Like, it can just be so emotionally draining too.
Definitely.
And so you get to the point, I personally get to the point where I'm just like, I can't interact with this. I need to be here, and I need to be present, and not even on like the hippy dippy stuff. And I am on the hippy dippy stuff, but not even on that. It's just that I need to take care of myself by making sure that I filter what comes into my life, because I think there's just no filter anymore. You can click on anything and see anything from anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's crazy. And then especially being over in Europe and all the things that was happening in America with like the election and everything that followed, like there was no way that I could be on the other side of the world working on a master's degree and like watching everything that was happening with like healthcare and like walls and immigration bans. And you're like, this is crazy. And then like even like the number of like black people shot by the police this year, and it's just like, it's gotta stop. You know, I can't keep exposing myself to this. I don't have the emotional capacity to deal with this anymore. And it's like, it's not that you don't care, you're just like, I can't be like sad every day because the internet has told me something I don't want to know. I just need to walk away. Right. Like, me and the internet have been in a really toxic relationship for a long time, where it's just giving me crazy stuff, and I'm like, yo, I got boundaries. You gotta step back. I gotta step back. I can't do this anymore.
No, you're talking real stuff. A lot of people need to hear that. Like, it's okay to step away. It's okay.
You just gotta take a moment. It's like, I need to be where I am right now. Like, I am in Spain, so I need to be here.
Yeah.
So that's really where that came from. Like, there's just too much happening in America. And my timeline, of course, is full of American people I went to school with. And you're like, I can't do anything about any of these things. Right. So I just need to stay here where I'm in control of my space and just focus for now. Like, I can't, it was just too much.
That's crazy. Yeah. And you have to do it. Again, I'm glad that you said that. And just letting people know that it's okay. It's okay to step away. It's okay to turn it off. It's okay to delete it. It'll be there. Yeah. You can bring it back. You know what I'm saying? So, long-term goals. Like, where do you see yourself in, let's say, 3 to 5 years?
3 to 5 years.
Diva.
In this moment right now, getting ready for the Grammys.
Look at that.
Right?
Look at that.
But yeah, for sure. Definitely at a point in my artistry where I've established something, because I think my biggest goal is to just not be a singles artist, which my brain is kind of divided because like I always studied on the business side of stuff. So both of my degrees, undergrad and my master's, are business degrees, music business degrees. So it's
me
like
too. I have a bachelor's in music.
so in my head, I know that singles is kind of like the market because labels are dying. But as an artist, I'm like, I don't want to do the fly-by-night stuff. Like, it's fun, and I'll write on it for other purposes because I'm also a songwriter. I've written for, like, several other artists. And so as far as that, that's fine. I don't care about that. I'm all about the commercial, jiggly bubblegum pop. I mean, Strawberry Fields was a bubblegum pop song. It really was. You know? So it's like... But as far as like my catalog, like I don't want to be dropping something new every 6 months, like just to throw it out there. Like I really want to like create an artistry. This is what I'm saying. Like I want every project that I drop to be a conversation. Yeah. So in 5 years, when I say I want to be at the Grammys, it's not like just necessarily this narcissistic thing. It's just like, no, because in 5 years, I'm going to know that I have a catalog that means something that can compete. You know, like this is industry standard. So it should be here because it's on that par. And like, I'm kind of like holding myself to that bar. Definitely. And why it's like taking so long. And like, I really love the people who are just like with me because like Strawberry Fields dropped in September of this year. And I've been performing for maybe like the last 5. So they have not really gotten a track for me in 5 years. Yeah. So like y'all are real. These are people who are just really with me from coming out to shows and like me like putting that content on the internet and people like, where's the recordings? Where is this? Right. I think that's super cool. But I also think that's part of why I was able to like build a fan base because like it was really like you come to my shows and like when you get people physically involved, like they tend to stay more committed. Right. It was just like a SoundCloud link. Right. But yeah, I mean, definitely I want to be at the Grammys. I want to be at the VMAs because I really want to get into like visual art as well. Yeah. Like those photos is kind of like the beginning of me wanting to tell visual stories because like I can't afford a video. So what can I do right now? Let's try to tell the story the best we can with photos. Let's make a album booklet. But I really want to start working on all of those things, which it's at the beginning stages. I can see it. Like I've been applying for a lot of artist grants just so I can get like the support of some foundations behind me so that I can really like flesh out these visions because like the Colored EP I'm looking at being a 3-part series, like Colored Volume 1, 2, and 3, which will eventually become the Colored album or the trilogy. So like I'm really like over the next 3 years, I really want like the different colored series to come out, like to tell these stories. And so like really just building that catalog, staying diligent, like really like crafting the live shows as well because of course I grew up in theater, so I'm all about stagecraft, like so yeah, just really like being able to dig in there. And if the awards come, they come. If they don't, they don't. At the end of the day, I'm going to have a product that I am very proud of. Yeah. And so that's what it's about for me, more than anything.
I'm so happy. Like we've literally, I don't even like to call them interviews. I like to call them conversations. Yeah. You know, because that's just what it is. Because a lot of stuff, you know, as we talk, things pop into my head. It's like, you know, let me ask you this. What about this? So I love it. You're in our Newbie Online Hall of Fame. It's been difficult when I say for people to get there because people like the votes are just knocking people out. Yeah.
It was scary.
Right?
Like, I would be looking at my computer pressed. I'm like, oh my God. I was just up and now I'm down. Oh my God. Yeah. I had some crazy weeks. I was just like, oh my God.
But you did it. And like your fan base is crazy. I said they are going in. They are going strong. Cause literally you're maybe the 3rd or 4th Newbie Online Hall of Famer.
Really?
And we're at the end of the year. Yes. That's crazy. That says a lot. So I'm super excited. And make sure you keep me updated because we definitely want to get you in this lounge. Yes. So as soon as you're ready to release it, we'll set it up and get it going.
I'm ready.
Kady Roxz, everybody. It's a Newbie Online exclusive.
I've been sitting and waiting, internally hating all the bad things I'd become. We used to be lovers, closer than brothers, but now I'm a bad girl on the run. Sitting and waiting, internally closer down.